Hello everybody and welcome to DRL TV. I'm your host James Pandoff, and joining me tonight, special guest Corey Sherman. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I'm excited to see a good race here at Kansas.
Absolutely, me too. This is the final race of the second round. 4 drivers will be going home, so a lot on the line for these 12 drivers in the playoffs. As we take a quick look at the point standings, you get to see who is above the cutoff line. You see that blue line there on your screen. Those 8 drivers are currently advancing to the next round as long as nothing happens. You see there 7th and 8th place, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, John Theodore. Those guys are really on the bubble. I believe the top 6 will be alright in points. You see Logan there in yellow. He won last week at Talladega and he is here tonight, so he will automatically advance with that win. You see Dustin Musial, he's 4 points outside the next round advancement. Spencer Tart right there, he's 10 points back. I think the only way he will advance is if he can get the win here tonight. Based on what you saw in qualifying and practice, Corey, who do you think is going to have the best shot at getting the win tonight?
The one that I saw that was the fastest in practice was Thomas Harmon, so I'm looking for him to put up a good race tonight.
As you see, Thomas is not yet on track. We're currently looking at Chris Lucky doing his qualifying lap. He's here completing his second lap as he crosses the line. Let's see if he improves his lap time. I got him at a 33.296, good enough for 13th at the moment. Who else is on track that we can take a look at? John Theodore crossing the line now, attempting his first qualifying lap of the evening. A lot of different lines these drivers can run tonight. Corey, based on what you've done in official races, do you think the high line or the low line, or maybe even the middle line, is going to be best suited for these drivers?
When I did the official race earlier today, I was running the low to middle line. I felt that worked best for me, but I saw a bunch of different lines in practice earlier.
As John Theodore, begins his second lap time. Good enough for top 5 at the moment, with only 2 minutes left in qualifying.
Yep, looks like he dropped down to 6th.
Yep, 133 laps, long way to go for these drivers. It's going to be a pack racing-esque with this new driver's package. A lot to look forward to. Sorry,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little sidetracked at the moment. Please bear with me for a little bit. As we've wrapped up with qualifying, looks like the 88 will be the pole sitter. Let's see if I can pull him in for an interview. Hey Logan, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, starting off as the pole sitter tonight, you got the win last week at Talladega. You're in good shape to advance to the next round. How do you feel about tonight?
Feel pretty good. Just gotta stay out front and keep the clean air.
Got 133 laps. Multiple lines are available at a track like this. Do you feel that the high line is going to prevail versus the lower line?
I feel like the top lane will be able to hold off for a while, but you can if you have nobody in front of you, you can run the bottom really good. So just whatever line you want to pick.
Corey, do you have anything for Logan before we let him go?
Nope, great qualifying lap, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, Logan, we're about to roll off for pre-race, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this one.
I hope so.
Alrighty, we'll talk to you soon.
See y'all later.
As the field begins to grid up, pace car is going to be rolling them off now. You see the pace car in the 88 leading them off. As we take a quick look at our starting grid, the 88 is out posted, and Mike Springer in the 12 is starting second. Third place goes to Wade Hughes at the points leader. Thomas Harmon starting in the 4th position. 5th goes to Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Spencer Tarr starting in the 6th spot. 7th, John Theodore. 8th, Adam de Blasio. 9th goes to Gary Cronaway, and 10th goes to the 75 of Bill Edwards. 11th, Grand National Series regular Ryan Hasgard. Jim Westfield starting in 12th. John Mullins 13th. Chris James 14th. Chris James has been very hot as of late. We'll see if he's able to continue now. Dustin Musso, who's on the bubble to advance, starts in the 15th position. 17th, Chris Lucky. 18th, Joshua Durham. And that rounds out the starting grid as the pace car is ducking off. We're about to go green flag racing.
Looks like the bottom got a better restart.
You're absolutely right, as that 32 is pushing that 88 down the front straightaway, down into turn 1. 88 is clear of the high line. 32 goes with him. And then there's Taylor Butcher Benjamin inside of the 68 for 3rd.
Yeah, they're 3 wide down the back stretch.
That's Ryan Hescott on that low line, getting past the 25 of Adam de Blasio, and Mike Springer, who started in 2nd place, he's dropping back with a little blinking issues. You see the 22 of Justin Musso there inside of him.
Looks like the bottom line has a run going into the back stretch. The 27 making a move to the inside.
John Theodore with a nice run to the inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Contact there with the 10.
Oh, they're spinning.
That should bring out a caution. Looks like everybody's able to get away. I don't think there's any severe contact. Let's see if we can take a quick look at that. You see the 10 just slides up a little bit into the 68, then he gets loose right in front of the 2 of Ryan Hesgard, and then he gets sent around. But like I said, I don't think anybody got any damage out of that. I think it was just a little brake check and spin for the 10. Looks like everybody is rolling.
Yeah, I saw quite a few going through the infield.
My boy Chris Lucky, you see he went for a ride through that infield grass to avoid all of that. One more time with Gary Cronenworth. You see the contact there. As he tries to save it, he ends up getting sideways, hits one more, and then he goes for a full 360 back on the gas. Very little damage for him.
Looks like Taylor Butcher Benjamin decided to stay out.
I see that with only 4 laps on his tires. Looks like he wants that bonus point to try to help him and keep him advancing to the next round. 64 of John Mullins right behind him, staying out as well. As the field catches up to the leaders. Gary Cronenworth staying in pits for a sensitive amount of time, 57 seconds and counting.
Yeah, I didn't see any real damage on the car.
Aerodynamics is very important at Kansas with this new package, as you're going to see it's almost like a restrictor plate race for the opening laps on restarts. You're going to need as clean a car as you can to help with the aerodynamics and keep up with the quote-unquote pack until the tire wear begins. As the field's double filing up, we're about to go racing once again. Taylor Butchie Benjamin, John Mullins leading that inside row. Then you got Pole Sitter and Wade Husted out in row 2.
Green flags in the air. Eight jumps out to a big lead. Looks like they're going 3 wide into the turn. 64 stuck up top.
That middle lane with the 88 going to lead this lap. It's getting a solid push from Thomas Harmon. To the lead goes the 88. He's going to have that outside momentum onto the backstretch, but Taylor Butchie Benjamin and that 8 is not giving up.
No, he's sticking to that bottom line and making it work.
John Theodore is sticking his nose up there. He's now in 4th.
So the outside line might have some momentum coming off the turn.
You're absolutely right with that 68 and the 88 combo on that outside line. John Theodore not quite pushing the 8 as well as the 88 has been pushing the 68. 3 wide at the line, I believe Thomas Harmon led that lap. Harmon now getting shuffled out. He's going to drop all the way to 4th with the 8, 88, and 27 taking the top 3 positions.
So 32 got a big run off that. Leads that lap at the line.
Yes, he does it. John Theodore is looking for some sort of help on that outside line. He's not going to get as the 88's able to clear him. And moves up in front of him. John Theodore going to drop down in front of that inside line led by Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Crossing the line once again. Spencer Tart now leads that outside line with Thomas Harmon right behind. 3 wide in the back. Richard Lucky in that 41. Trying to get to the inside of Chris James and Mike Springer. Oh, Chris James got very loose. It would keep it straight, but he's going to lose a lot of positions all the way to the back behind Jim Marshall. Looks like things are starting to spread out up front with the 88 leading the 27, followed by the 8, 68, 32, 28. All single filed out.
Yeah, it looked like the 82 just lost it right off the corner.
Wade Hustad makes the pass on the 68. He's not quite able to clear him, however, coming to the line. Going to be 15 laps complete. Corey, how many laps can these drivers go on a tank of fuel?
I'm not really sure about that. My official race, we had cautions like every 10 laps. I really didn't get a fuel run in that, so I'm not exactly sure.
Going to be something to keep an eye on as we have a battle for third shaping up between Wade Hustad, Taylor Butch Benjamin, and Thomas Harmon. Taylor's having a good run at this point. He's currently hanging out in the top 5. He's going to need as many points as he can to secure himself inside the top 8 for the playoffs.
Yeah, and he is on older tires than the rest of the field, too.
That is true. He did not pit in that first caution. Theodore in second is getting challenged by the 32 of Wade Hustad. Hustad on that outside. He's really making that outside line work. She's able to clear him. Next in line is Thomas Harmon right behind the 27. As you see, everybody is basically single filed out. It took about 10 laps to get to this point.
Yeah, that looks like the 88's pulling away from Hustad a little bit.
About half a second difference between the 88 and 32. As you see the 68 slide job right in front of the 27 of John Theodore, but John Theodore is going to go at him again into 3.
Harmon got the run off the corner to complete the pass.
Got 3 wide, a little bit behind him. Joshua Durham, John Mullins, and the 2 of Ryan Hesgard. Ryan Hesgard not quite able to clear him. Richard Lucky entering his name into the mix.
Yeah, the 64 had to check up off that corner or else he's going to get into the 72.
Back up to the front. Wade Hustad is closing in on the leader. He's now 0.2 of a second behind him. That time by, he was 1/10 faster than the 88. As Gary Conaway has come down pit lane. Looks like he has a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if that was from that first incident. As we take a closer look at his back bumper, you see that right rear damage. And a little bit on the left front.
Yeah, I believe that was from the first incident he was in. Top 3 is separating themselves a little bit from 4th place. They're about a second ahead of them.
Yep, in that 4th place is John Theodore. He needs a run like he's having right now. You see there on your screen, John Theodore 8th place, 4 points above the cutoff line. If he has a finish like he is now, he will advance himself into that next round. Then we go all the way back to Dustin Musil, who's 4 points outside looking in. He's currently in the 13th position, started back in 15th. Going back up front, looks like all of these drivers have been using the high line around this racetrack.
Yeah, they really haven't lost too much off their lap times.
One driver we haven't mentioned a whole lot of is the 72 of Joshua Durham, new to Dynasty Racing League, currently in the 10th position. He started all the way in 18th, so he's having himself a good run in the early stages of this one. Battle in the back between John Mullins and Chris James of the 82. John Mullins representing a new paint scheme, a nice yellow paint scheme this evening. Back up front, the 88 is actually gaining over the 2nd place driver, Wade Hustad, back up to half a second, and looks like the 68 of Thomas Harmon is actually closing in on Wade Hustad.
Yeah, it looks like almost all the field is single file now.
You are right. 28 laps on these tires. Pit stop should be happening within 25 laps. About to be 100 laps to go at Kansas. Closest battle we got going on out front is for 5th place between the 28 of Spencer Tart, the 25 of Adam de Blasio, and then right behind them is Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Richard Lucky. As we go on board with the 25 of Adam de Blasio, we get to see what he sees. As you see that right front damage is actually on the 25. Not quite sure when that happened to him. He might have gone to the outside wall. But you can see he's actually running like a half lane lower than the 28 of Spencer Tart. Going back up front, almost a 3/4 of a second lead now for the 88 of Logan McNally.
Yeah, it looks like Husad slowly gaining on him.
Now, Corey, you guys in the truck series are actually off this week, but next week you'll be going to Martinsville. I know early in the season your race didn't go quite as planned, as you actually finished 24th, looking to rebound next week.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, I'm either really good at short tracks and they're out front, or I get caught up in some wrecks. And yeah, that's what happened to me last time. Got caught up in a wreck, so just gotta try to avoid those on Wednesday.
As we look for our closest battle, it looks like the top 5 are pretty separated. Going to 6th place, Adam de Blasio. Looks like between him and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, it's about 0.2 of a second. That seems to be the closest battle we got going on. I take that back, as we actually have a battle going on for the 10th position with Joshua Durham, Chris James, and Bill Edwards all battling it out going in turns 1 and 2.
looks like the 82 has some momentum, drops low into the turn. I don't know how bad his tires are if he can hold it down there coming off.
Almost contacted the head into turn 1.
Looks like the 72 has some damage on that left rear already.
As you take a quick look at that, he also has some right front damage. Looks like he might have smacked the wall at some point in time. As Wade Hughes has come down the pit. He has a lot of right rear damage. I'm not quite sure if that was there prior to this. A little right front damage as well. Let's see if we can take it back a lap and see if anything happened. Taking a look at it from the chase view. There's no damage here, so he must have pancaked the wall. Oh yeah, right there, coming off of turn 2. He got very loose and ended up at the outside wall. Let's see if we can see that one more time. There we go, the cockpit camera. On board with the 32 Wade Hustad. He's riding the high line as he's coming off the corner. I gotta go one more lap forward.
Yeah, that was a great save by him.
Sorry about that. We're gonna see that one more time. You can see throughout the middle he was getting very loose, and he ended up slamming it into the wall. As the 12 Mike Springer is also coming down pit lane. Very unfortunate for Wade Hustad. However, he will be advancing to the next round. As we take a look at point standings, he is well over 40 points ahead of the cutoff line. So Wade Hustad will be advancing no matter what, as well as the current leader Logan. And Thomas Harmon looks pretty good as well, 32 points above that cutoff line.
The two of Ryan Hesgard's come down pit road, and the Edith Taylor Butcher Benjamin.
Yep, looks like green flag stops are occurring. These drivers have 40 laps, 43 laps on their tires, so it looks like fuel window is between 43 and 45 laps. We know Taylor Butcher Benjamin stayed out a little longer than the rest of them. As the 88 stays out another lap. Thomas Harmon right behind him, a second and a half. As Adam de Blasio is all over the back bumper, the 41 of Richard Lucky, excuse me, that'll be for the 5th position. John Theodore will come down to pit.
The 88 stayed out again.
I believe these guys will only have to pit one more time based on the number of laps that they're doing on this run as the 88 is coming down to pit. As long as they pit after lap 90, they should be good on fuel. Thomas Harmon as well on pit lane.
Yep, looks like a bunch of the leaders came down the pit.
As the right sides go up for Logan. Now on the left side, we'll see how much time he might lose, as Richard Lucky is currently the leader. Logan is off and away, going to 41, as he just passed the 88 of Logan McNally. He put him a lap down. Richard Lucky has yet to pit. 48 laps on his run and counting. 4 drivers have yet to pit: Richard Lucky, Chris Lucky, Dustin Musil, and John Mullins. John Mullins has 52 laps on this run.
As the 41 ducks on the pit road.
We'll see if the 77 does the same. He does not. He's going to stay out and lead a lap, as the 88 is going to get around him on the fresh tires and get his lap back. It looks like Wade Hustad is actually disconnected, so it looks like his night is over with. Very unfortunate for the points leader. He hasn't DNF'd from many races at all this season. Chris Lucky stays out another lap. This would be lap number 50 for him.
Yeah, you would figure those top 3 have to come down soon, since they're a second slower than the guys who've already taken new tires.
That is a good point. Every lap they do stay out, they're going to lose a second plus per lap they stay out, because that's how much fresher those tires are for the likes of Logan McNally and Thomas Harmon. Now for Dustin Musil, he's just hoping for a caution to try to get that track position, as he's still staying out. But in the long run, if there is no caution, that's going to hurt him greatly, as he needs a great finish to advance in the playoffs. John Mullins comes down to pit. Down and away on a 14.68 second pit stop. Looks like Dustin Musil is going to pit this time. That leaves Chris Lucky as the only driver yet to pit, as you see the big group of vehicles just got by him, all getting the laps back. Only 2 drivers have DNFs thus far. That is the 32 of Wade Hustad and the 10 of Gary Cronenwet.
Chris Lucky stays out for another lap.
I'm very surprised he hasn't come into pit yet. There's no way he's going to be able to make it on this one and only stop. There's just too many laps to go for him to do such a thing. Actually, it looks like he's coming down to pit now.
Yep, he dives it down.
That will give the lead back to the 88 once he comes around and gets it. He's all the way on the backstretch. The 88 actually has a 3-second advantage over what will be second place Thomas Harmon, who's battling it out with this 28 of Spencer Tart.
Yeah, the 8 and 27 actually closed the gap on the 28 after the pit stops. I think they were close to 2 seconds behind going into the pit stops.
As we see John Theodore make a bold move to get in front of the 8 car of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Ryan Hesgard in the mix with them. This is all for the 4th position. Looks like Hesgard will get around both of them, but not for long as the 2 slides up. The 27 and the 8 go to the inside. 27 is able to clear him. Taylor Butcher Benjamin side by side with Ryan Hesgard going into 3.
Hesgard got a big run off that corner.
Looks like he will clear Taylor. Now he has to chase back down the 27 of John Theodore.
Looks like Hesgard has a little front damage too.
Did you take a closer look at that? You're absolutely right. You see that crinkle in his right front. That Spencer Starr is still trying to work and gain on the 68 times Harmon for the 2nd position. The gap is now 3 seconds even between the 88 and the 68. Closing in on the halfway mark here at Kansas for the last race in round number 2 of the Dynasty Racing League playoffs. While this might be the last race of the round, tomorrow night it will be the first race of round number 2 for the Dynasty Racing League Grand National Series, as they will be right back here at Kansas for the Kansas 175. 8 drivers continue their hunt for the championship. It's going to be exciting to watch. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that event. And then the next race here for the Dynasty Racing League Cup Series will be the Martinsville 250, October 28th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for 250 laps on that paperclip. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tempers going on next week at Martinsville, huh, Corey?
Oh yeah. Yeah, top 8 will be looking for a win to get to the Final 4.
as Ryan Hesgard has closed the door on the 27. This will be for the 4th position if he's able to make that pass. John Theodore was a guy who had a lot of trouble earlier this season, but he seems to have gotten it together heading into the playoffs, as he's been having a great run after run each race in the playoffs. He's hoping to get a top 5 here, advance himself into the next round.
Yeah, it seems as Hesgard gets to Theodore's back bumper, and then Theodore just starts pulling away from him.
They get awfully close in turn 1. Clean air is definitely an advantage with a package like this. While these two are battling, Taylor Butcher Benjamin is slowly reeling them both in. .60 laps to go. Hesgard to the inside.
Well, the outside run was too strong, coming off the 2.
On board with Ryan Hesgard as they go down into turn 1. You can see just how close the two's getting to that outside wall. Cuts it down to about the middle lane there by the exit, going down the back straightaway. Off of turn 4, he has a lot of momentum, closing in on the 27's back bumper.
Yeah, I think that's where he's been getting his runs, is off of turn 4.
And we can't forget the 8 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. He's been hanging on right behind them. One slip up and he's going to be able to pounce and maybe get 2 positions in one turn.
Yeah, Hesgard had a little wiggle off of 4 there.
And just like that, Taylor Butcher Benjamin 2 is inside, but the 2's going to have that momentum on the high side down the backstretch. With that bobble, that opened the door for John Theodore to pull away.
They got a huge run coming off the 2. He's going to complete the pass on Hesgard.
A nice move there from Taylor Benjamin, moves him up to the 5th position. Checking in on the leader. He's about to put the 12 of Mike Springer a lap down.
It looks like Harmon's closing the gap on McNally.
You would be correct, under 2 seconds now. Slowly but surely, there's 51 laps to go. He's got plenty of time to do something.
He was a 10th faster last lap.
If there's no more cautions, I think the best chance Thomas Harmon might have would be to pit a little early, use those fresh tires to his advantage, and try to close that gap on the 88.
Yeah, I was wondering if we'd see anybody come down in about 10 laps to pit with about 40 to go.
That sounds about right. These guys are 33 laps on this run. They pitted around 43 laps the last time, so pit stop should be happening very soon. Nothing really going on in the terms of battles. Except for this battle right in front of the leader with Dustin Musil in the 22 and Mike Springer. This is 4th position, the 15th position. Little blink there by the 12 car. This will be a battle for lucky dog position once the 88 is able to get around both of them.
He got really low on that turn.
Sliding right up in front of the 22. Now he has to set his focus onto the 12 of Mike Springer. If the race would have finished now, this would not be enough for Dustin Musil to advance in the playoffs. So a lot of urgency setting in on the 22 with less than 50 laps to go. He's definitely going to need a caution to reset the field and give him a better opportunity at advancing. One thing that I didn't notice was Ryan Hesgard is actually a lap down. I'm not sure if he was in the pits, but it looks like he's very slow on the apron. He must have pitted.
Yep, looks like he just went in the pits.
And John Theodore is coming down to pit as well.
Harmon has closed the gap to right around the second.
A lot of drivers coming down to pit. As you see the 72 Joshua Durham on those fresh tires are just passing off 3 of those guys in one turn. That shows you how much of a difference fresh tires are compared to old tires. As that opened the door for the 88 to get around both of them. Like pit stops are finishing up. Only a few drivers still need a pit. Thomas Harmon closed the gap to less than a second after the 88 had a battle with all that traffic. Adam de Blasio and Chris Lucky both come down to pit.
So is the 12 of Mike Springer.
Thomas Harmon really closing in on the 88, and he's now 0.6 of a second. As it looks like he's coming down to pit.
Yeah, I would imagine we would see McNally coming down soon. As he pulls down on the pit road. He locks him up getting into pit road.
Let's see if anyone decides to stay out with the leader in. It looks like the 82 will stay out and lead a lap.
Looks like the 88 slapped the wall. He's got damage on the right side.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a lot of damage to his right front and right rear. If we can get a closer look at it. Not so much on the right rear. You do see a little crinkle, but that right front definitely significant damage over the right front tire. As you see him blind in, John Theodore about to pass him. That is the position. Theodore on 8-lap older tires, however. Three drivers still need to pit. Chris James, Sean Mullins, and Dustin Musil. A caution right here is what Dustin needs to gain all that track position. As we are now on lap 100 of 133. Chris James down to pit, Dustin Musil in as well. That leaves John Mullins, who's staying out, will lead this lap. Focusing on what will be the battle for the lead when John Mullins does pit. You see Thomas coming right in front of the 88. But not for long, as Logan is coming fast on these fresh tires. It's actually a pretty big battle going on, as you got 5 cars in the mix for the lead. These guys will eventually spread out once these tires begin to wear. You see the 27 and the 8 of Taylor Benjamin battling it out. Right in front of them is the 28 of Spencer Tart. And then you got Thomas Harmon and Logan Finale in the 88 battling for what will be the lead once the 64 of John Mullins decides to pit.
Yeah, they're about 11 seconds behind John Mullins and coming fast. McNally gets the outside of the 68. Harmon was able to hold him off on that lap.
Going to need to hold him off for about 27 more, as this race still has a little while to go. John Mullins finally down to pit. Still side by side going to turn 3.
Ooh, they touched coming off of 4.
Neither one of these guys wants to give up.
McNeely dives down in front of him.
Finally able to clear him as they cross the line to take lap 109. Behind him, however, is the battle for third between the 8 and the 28. 27 right behind them.
The 68's on the inside of the 88.
This is a great battle as we're in the closing laps, right up against the 88's bumper.
Harmon's trying to make that low line work. The 88 has way too much momentum coming off the corners for him.
What will be 20 to go at the line. Thomas Harmon giving it all he got to try to get and stay in front of the 88. There he goes once again, but the 88's just too strong with that high side momentum. He was able to make a stick. We'll see if he's able to do anything through 3 and 4. As the 88 actually gets loose. Logan got loose there. That opens the door wide open for Thomas Harmon.
Yeah, I don't know if that side draft disrupted them or what. He started losing it right off of 4.
Taking a quick look at the battle for third is still heated between these 3 drivers. The 28 of Spencer Tart, the 8 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and the 27 of John Theodore. behind them, you see the 12 Mike Springer. He's actually a lap down, and he is not for position. As long as John Theodore can stay out of trouble, this is exactly the run he needed to advance himself into the round of 8. To the inside goes Taylor Butcher Benjamin for 3rd.
He's gonna have a clear coming off. Oh, gets
Oh, there goes the
car
28.
gets loose.
He's going around. That should be a caution as he's into the outside wall.
Yep, caution's out. Well, this changes everything.
Significant hit for the 28. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Looks like he got a little loose there. Let's see if we can go back a little farther. As we're on board with the 28 is Spencer Tart. Trying to see if we can find the replay.
Looks like he already touched the wall there.
Having trouble finding the replay file. I don't believe it's this one. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Then we do this. This should be the lap. My apologies about the technical difficulties. As you see him very close to the wall, entering turns 1 and 2. Going down the backstretch, the 8 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin is to his inside. Then through 3 and 4, you see the 8 get in front of him. 28 just slides loose, overcorrects, and then gets loose once again through the inside grass. And up into the outside wall. Significant damage you see there to his left rear corner. As the race off pit road, 88 looks like he's stuck on pit lane. The 8 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin might have actually won it over the 68 of Thomas Herman. Logan's been on pit road for quite a long time, 30 seconds and counting. As he's finally off, 37.5 seconds.
Wonder if he's getting some damage fixed.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the 8 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin actually got a speeding off pit road penalty and had to drop to the back. So Thomas Herman will be the new leader. John Theodore to the outside of him. Adam de Blasio will be up to 3rd. This changes everything with what will be 10 laps to go on the restart.
Should be an exciting 10-lap shootout.
Sensor Tart's in pit road for an extensive amount of time. He's going to go a lap down. Looks like his race will be over. Taking a look at the point standings, Sensor Tar was 10 points out. Looks like he will not be advancing to the round of 8. It's unfortunate for him, but he'll have a chance to play spoiler and win a race or two in the next few races we have left in the season.
Yeah, he had a strong run going tonight too.
So the big story will be between the 27, the 8, and the 22 if Dustin Musa will be able to race himself into the top 8 positions and bump either the 8 or the 27 out. As pace cars are going to get ready to duck off, we're going to have a 10-lap shootout. Green flag is out. Thomas Herman with a great restart. Adam de Blasio in the 25 right beside him. Theodore going to drop down to that inside lane right behind the 25. The 77, Chris Lucky looking to the outside of John Theodore. 25 going to go in front of the 77, try to work that outside line by the 68. Chris Lucky thinking 3 wide as they cross the start finish line down into turn 1. Now's the time to get everything you can on these fresh tires. 3 wide for 5th.
Yeah, they pushed the 77 to the outside. Doesn't have any help out there.
This is looking like a lot like Talladega, huh, Ford?
Yeah, it does.
Will anything give? Will these guys be able to stay green through the rest of the race? No, it won't. It's 41's in the wall. That'll be a caution. The 8 as well is involved. Wow, let's see if we can get a replay of that. As you see, the 64 gets smothered in that outside wall with the 41 coming up the track. See if we can get a better view of that. Looks like the 75 got into the 41. A bunch of cars just ended up in the outside wall as the 41 drifted up. See if we can get one more view of that. '72 got some damage. The 88 might have got involved, and you see the 8 right there as well.
Yeah, it looks like the 88 ran back to the 41.
Yeah, it looks like the 75 had his nose there. The 41 came down a little bit. And then Taylor Butcher Benjamin had nowhere to go. We'll see if we can go on board with him as the incident happened in front of him. As you see, he goes low. He thought he cleared it, but the 41 just came down too fast right in front of him. If this isn't a green-white checkered, it might be a 4-lap shootout. If it's anything like it just was, it's going to be a wild finish.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited to see it.
A lot of drivers decide to stay out.
They all have 8 laps on their tires.
John Theodore stays in second on this restart. This is his opportunity for his first Dynasty Racing League career win. He had a great shot early in the season at Atlanta, but he ended up getting dumped by the 62 of Anthony Burrows, who ended up winning that race. So this will be sweet revenge if the 27 is able to pull it off here tonight. The lights are still on with the pace car. This has a good shot at being a 4-lap shootout. I believe they will get the 1 to go signal next time by. Not really sure what Theodore was doing right there. Looks like he had to take his eyes off the road and ended up going below the white line. Smart move by him. Not want to get any damage or hit anybody. Taylor Butchie Benjamin's back on pit road. Good news for Taylor is he should be safe and advancing to the next round with the trouble of Spencer Tart, and I believe the 22 also got involved. Might have to fact check that one when they cross the line, check out the scoring and see where the 22 is. Looking at the points one more time. Taylor had a 6-point advantage over Dustin Musil. 10 points, excuse me. So that is a pretty good gap between the 8 and the 22. Taylor should be okay no matter where he finishes, based on the number of guys that have been DNF'd to this point. But anything can happen in these closing laps, as we just saw. What are your predictions, Corey? Who do you think is going to be able to walk away with the victory?
I think I'm going to go with my original pick. Stay with it. Thomas Harmon. He's been dominant all day, and like I said, he was fast in practice earlier when I was watching it.
That is a very good pick, and I'm not sure if the 88 is going to have anything. He was the dominant car all race long, but now that Adam de Blasio is up in there, I know he hasn't been in the top 5 all night, but I think the 25 might have something for these guys, as we're about to have a little shootout here. As the pace car is ducking off, Thomas Harmon going to lead him to the green flag. Got to watch out for lane changes before start-finish line.
He gets a great restart.
He does indeed. He's the only man out. The 25 right behind him, though. The 25 is going to be able to clear the 27. Chris Lucky now to the inside of 27 of John Theodore. 3 laps to go. We'll see what happens as they go down the backstretch. Thomas Harmon, the leader. Adam de Blasio might be looking to the outside, but Chris Lucky sticks his nose in there. Chris Lucky takes the inside away from the 25 of Adam de Blasio. Down on the lead when they go. 2 laps to go. Chris James is the 3rd car in line on that inside, but right behind him, Ryan Hesgard. The outside lane consists of the 25 Adam de Blasio, the 27 John Theodore, and the 88 of Logan Pinelli. Down the backstretch they go. Chris Lucky all over the back end of the 68. Down onto the apron, gonna take the white flag here. This race will end under green. Oh, contact there with the 25. Oh, 82 making contact with the 27. It's a battle between these two drivers on the final lap, the 68 and the 77. What will happen? The 77 is going to look high. Oh, he's going to go low. Does he have enough? He will not. The 68 will win it.
Wow, that was a great finish.
What a win for Thomas Harmon. Let's see if we can go back and see what exactly happened the previous couple laps. That might have actually been a little neck hook there with the 20, with the 88. Let's see if we can see that one more time. Yeah, very little bit of neck hook with the 88 there. I'm not sure what the 82 was doing, but he ended up into the side of the 27. Seeing that one more time. Very unfortunate for John Theodore. He should be safe for the playoffs. We'll have to see the final results and see where Dustin Musil ended up finishing compared to John Theodore. You can see that one more time. '88 ended up into the side. The 8 ended up into the 88. The 2 smoking pretty heavily. John Theodore rolling the best he can. It looks like he ended up 12th. Let's see if we can pull in our winner, Thomas Harmon. Oops, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Thomas Harmon, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
That's where I got you.
Well, sir, what a finish. That was a crazy green white checkered with this new package they have for the Cup Series. Walk us through the finish.
When that first caution come out with about 12 to go, I didn't want to see that because I figured I'd start pulling Logan there towards the end, but came out, bunched up the field, and I knew if I could hold the bottom and keep it there and keep anybody from getting under me, I'd be able to have a good chance at holding everybody off. And then on that last one, it was just a matter of holding the bottom, and I guess a big wreck happened behind, but I'm glad it didn't bring out another yellow to stack us all up again.
Now, you mentioned holding the bottom, but on that final corner, the 77 was able to get to you inside. Did you have any thought in your mind that he might have turned you and get the win himself?
I was hoping not. Like I said, I think it was in Bristol. Him and I have raced a lot together, and we've always raced real respectful around each other. And if he wanted to turn me, by all means, I wasn't going to be mad at him. But I was expecting to get turned regardless, so it didn't happen. He got his nose under me, and I figured once he got his nose under me, I'd give him the room because I knew I'd be able to hold him off otherwise.
Well, it definitely shows the respect between you guys and the drivers in this series that you have for one another. And the good news for you is that you do advance to the next round, the round of 8, as we head into Martinsville next week. What are your thoughts on the short track racing?
I just hope to have a good finish. This round wasn't my favorite round last year. I hope to have a few better finishes and make it to the Final Four via points or win. Preferably win, but I'll take it.
Corey Sherman, do you have anything for Thomas before we let him go?
Thomas, awesome race. You were dominant most of the day. You were actually my pick at the beginning, so I'm glad that came through. I should have put a bet in Vegas for you.
I'm not used to somebody picking me to win. Thank you.
Well, I saw your practice and figured you were going to be one of the top guys tonight.
Well, thank you. Glad I could hold up your end.
Hey, Thomas, congratulations on your win. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give out?
Shout out to all the STR guys and Logan for working together, Chris for putting together a clean finish there, and hopefully it's something good for the broadcast and exciting. And same thing with Logan with the battle him and I had going back and forth. We both got loose in that one corner, and it kind of gave me the advantage. But shout out to all the competitors come out every week, give us a field to race with. You guys up in the booth for broadcasting all the fans for showing up, admins for DRL, and Fatal Concepts for the paint. And last minute, got Spotter Brian up in the booth tonight, late edition, but shout out to him for spotting me to the win there, and then Avril being on the front.
All right, Thomas, what a finish for you, advancing to the next round. Points are going to reset, but you will, definitely have a little cushion there as we begin the next round. Looking forward to seeing what you can do, and hopefully you'll be able to advance yourself to the championship 4. So have a great night, and we'll see you next week at Martinsville. Enjoy the win.
Thank you. I'll be there, guys. Have a good one.
That was a great finish. Now let's talk to the other man that was a part of that finish, Chris Lucky, and see what his take is on the whole thing. Hey, Chris Lucky, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir. Been a while.
Yeah, it has, but glad to see you back. And you almost won tonight. You got to the inside of Thomas Harmon. Did cross your mind to maybe get him a little loose, if not maybe dump him as you were coming to the line?
No, I got too much respect for Harmon. There's, aside from my brother, there's no one I trust running door to door with more, and I wouldn't want to ruin that going for, I would have had to wreck him to win it, and I wasn't going to do that.
Do you think if you had one more lap, being that you were on his inside coming to the line, if you had one more lap, do you think you would have been able to clear him in time?
Depends on if he would have let me off the apron getting into turn 1, so that could have got dicey. So if there's one more lap, they're probably both putting us on a wrecker there. So.
Yeah, and we know there was a big wreck behind you guys. Luckily, you and Harmon were able to avoid it, and it came down to just you two at the end. But you will advance yourself to the next round, starting off with Martinsville. How do you feel about the short track racing?
Yeah, the remaining schedule, I'm not very good on these tracks, and I'm not a big fan of Martinsville at all. So just going to be trying to make it through and stay out of the wrecks and come home with a clean car, and that should be good enough to get us to the next round, really. I mean, I'm consistently top 5.
And that round would be the Final Four at Homestead, which is obvious goal. And being in your rookie season, that'd be awesome if you came home with the championship. Corey Sherman, do you have anything you'd like to say to Chris Lucky?
Great finish, Chris. Second place. You were close there at the end. I was wondering if you're gonna get them. Did you feel the high line or the low line was working better tonight for you?
I stayed down low all night. I like the low line, and I just feel like it saves the right front a little bit more. You got to crack the throttle. It's a little bit more difficult to do consistently, but I like the bottom here.
Well, congrats again on your second place.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. Thanks, JP.
Absolutely. And before we do let you go, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give out?
Yeah, shout out to my brother. Shout out to Thomas Harmon for running me clean, and congrats on the win. Shout out to the 27, Theodore. He continues to put himself in good spots, and things just don't go his way. So kind of sucks that he finishes outside the top 10. But he had a good run tonight too. So.
Alrighty, Chris, congrats on the podium finish, and that was a heck of a finish you guys had between you and Harmon, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week at Martinsville.
All right, thanks, JP.
Now let's see if we can pull in the third place finisher, Adam de Blasio, and get his take. If we can find him in the Discord. Here he is. Let's see. Hey, Adam de Blasio, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yep.
Well, Adam, that was a insane last 10 laps. Got that first incident on that first restart, and then on the second one, you almost got involved. If not, you might have got hit a little bit when that big wreck happened, but you ended up avoiding it and came home in third. Walk us through the final 10 laps.
Just gotta look in my rearview mirror, make sure that the dart without feathers isn't behind me, cause that's the second time he's spun me out basically. So, yeah, great to know that he hasn't changed form.
All right, well, third place finish is pretty great. Going into Martinsville next week, get to do some short track racing. What are your thoughts going into Martinsville?
Finally, a track that involves skill. Pretty dumb and boring to run wide open all race, and tires doesn't make a difference here. Draft matters more. I hate plate racing, and I hate mile-and-a-half tracks. That's why I love the Roval. That's why I love short track racing. That's why I like skill tracks, because that's where the drivers can separate themselves. But yeah, looking forward to Martinsville. I'm looking. I may win it. Hopefully, I'm not gonna call my shot like the Roval, but I like Martinsville a lot.
Yeah, obviously not a huge fan of this new Cup Series package. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but Martinsville definitely going to take more skill, as you said. Corey, do you have anything you'd like to say to Adam?
Great finish tonight, Adam. You were dominant at the end of the race. Did you think you had anything for him at the front?
Um, I got Dave.
I might have lost him there. It sounded like he cut out.
Got me.
Yep, we got you now.
I don't know what I said or what came there, but I don't know. I had damage lap 5-ish when we were 3 wide, and the car on top of me didn't know we were 3 wide.
Alrighty, Adam, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give out before we let you go?
Thank you for letting me in the league. Thank you for broadcasting. Shout out to John Theater, and yeah, can't wait for Martinsville.
Alrighty, Adam, congratulations on your top three finish. That was a heck of a finish. We look forward to seeing you next week. Enjoy your night, and we'll see you then.
See ya.
That was our third place finisher, Adam de Blasio. Able to scrap together third place finish. He ran outside the top five most of the night. That was a great finish for him. Let's see if we can get the unofficial results. We have our race winner, Thomas Herman, leading 24 laps. Chris Lucky leading 7 laps, coming home second. Adam de Blasio third. Spencer Tart comes home fourth. A great turnaround for him after ending up in that wreck. Dusty Musso comes home fifth. Mike Springer sixth. John Mullins seventh, leading 5 laps. Chris James eighth, leading 3 laps. Richard Lucky ninth, 2 laps led. Bill Edwards rounds out the top 10. 11th goes to Joshua Durham. 12th, John Theodore. Taylor Butcher Benjamin leading 3 laps, gets 13th. Logan McNally leading the race high, 89 laps, comes home 14th. Jim Westfield 15th. Ryan Hesgard 16th. Wade Husted 17th. And Gary Cronenwet rounds out the top 10 and 18th. Excuse me. Let's see if we can take a look at our point standings. This is not up to date. This was prior to tonight. We see on the bottom there, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, John Theodore, Dusty Musil, and Spencer Tart were the 4 drivers battling it out for the final positions, advancing to the round of 8. I'm not really sure how this is shaping out. We'll have to see what happens after the points are updated. We do know that Spencer finished 4th and Dustin finished 5th. And John Theodore, Taylor Butcher Benjamin ended up finishing 12th or worse. So these points are definitely going to be very close. And we'll update you on the Facebook page and the league website with the top 8 advancing. So be sure to tune into that within the next half hour. The next race on DRL TV will be the Kansas 175 for the Dynasty Racing League Grand National Series. 117 laps on the 1.5 mile track, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. Be sure to tune into that one. The next race for the Dynasty Racing League iRacing Cup Series will be the Martinsville 250, October 28th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 250 laps on the paperclip. Thank you to everybody that makes Dynasty Racing League possible. James Pandoff for owner, financial, and marketing. Thank you to Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez for all the graphics and technical support. Thank you to the broadcasters, David Warborn Jr., Taylor Butch and Benjamin, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, James Pandoff, Ryan Branch, who did the Cup Series earlier this year. Thank you to all the special guests who have joined us as of late. Thank you to you, Corey Sherman, for joining me tonight. Hopefully we'll see you again in the broadcast booth before the end of the year.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a great race, and I hope to make another appearance soon.
Absolutely, I'd love to have you up here. Thank you to the race controllers, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, James Fanduff, Robbie Armstrong, Dakota Wilkins, Ryan Hesgard, Jeremy Hebel, Richard Springer, Eric Weatherholtz, and David Wright, who's been doing Truck Series. Thank you to all the admins, James Fanduff, Getty Buckner, Martin Wenzel, Ryan Branch, and David Wellborn Jr. Well, Corey, you called it. Thomas Harmon was able to pick up the victory tonight at Kansas. That was a great finish. What are your overall thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, it was great racing throughout the night, and what a great finish they had there.
Looks like based on the Discord, we have a few unhappy drivers. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that all settled out before next week, because temperatures will be flaring. It'll be short track racing. It'll be fun to watch. Be sure to tune in to that, guys, next week. I think we're going to wrap it up here for DRL TV. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was the Kansas 200 for the Dynasty Racing League Cup Series. We'll have the points updated very shortly, so be sure to tune in for that. Have a great night, everybody.